Alright, so now the quarantine's almost over. I've been working out 5 days a week through the entire quarantine. We were fortunate enough to have access to a rig, and I have some weights, and there was some weights there and dumbbells and whatever. So we've been doing WODs pretty much every day, except for weekends. Some of the guys have been doing weekends, but now that the quarantine's over, I feel like I need to tighten up on my eating and my nutrition to kind of get in summer body shape. I'm a little fluffy. Anyway, I was just wondering how people do that. Everybody has their own way, I guess. I thought I'd say what I do. And I'll just get it out in the open. I am a distributor for some of these products. If you want to know where to get them, I can give you discount codes, whatever. I don't make any money, really. It's more of an aggravation. But if anybody wants to buy some, I can give you discount codes for some of it. Anyway, I use an app called Myfitnesspal. It's like a nutrition tracking app. It's a little more in depth than just like a calorie counter. You can do macros with it, which, if you don't know what a macro is, it's like an item that you track. Like carbohydrates is a macro. The three that I track are carbs, protein, and fats. So I do 30% fat, 30% protein, 40% carbs in my macro setup. So when I put food in to the Myfitnesspal, which is really easy, you just download the app, you put in your information. It'll kind of give you a baseline calorie count that you need, for your height and weight and whatever. I mean, you can fine tune it a little bit depending on like how active you are. If you're working out twice a day and whatever, you're going to need more calories. You're going to burn more calories. That's the way it works. If you're sedentary, you probably do like lower calories. But once you get set up in the app, it's really easy, kind of self-explanatory. You click on, I forget what it is, like add food, or track food. And sorry, the sun's like beaming down from forward. When you put something in, like say I went to the grocery store and got fried chicken, whatever. I go in the app, I look up fried chicken, I had a wing and a thigh, whatever. It takes 10 seconds. It'll tell you what percentage of fat that was, what percentage of protein, and what percentage of carbs. And that will come out of your, allotment for the day. So, for instance, if you eat a lot of carbs, like you're a sugaraholic, you eat a lot of, cereals and ice cream or whatever, your carbs are going to be the first to run out. So say you run out of carbs, which is 40% of your calories. Say, just for simplicity, say you had 1,000 calories as an allotment for the day. That's really low. Nobody would go that low. But anyway, just to keep it an easy number. You eat 400 calories worth of carbohydrates. Now you're done with carbs for the day. Say you did that by noon. So the rest of the day, you have to catch up on protein and fat. And you have to figure out what has protein and fat, but doesn't have carbs. So you'd never want to really binge on a certain thing. Otherwise, it makes the rest of the day really hard. Like I remember one time I always run out of fat first. I have to sneeze. I always run out of fat first. So the rest of the day, a lot of times I'm making up carbs and protein. Well, one day I ended up with like 40, 45 grams of protein left at the end of the day with nothing else. I was maxed out on everything else. So I basically at 10 o'clock that night had to eat I don't know how many cups of egg whites, like fried egg whites, because egg whites is just pure protein, very little fat, very little anything else, just pure protein. So you kind of want to keep it balanced throughout the day. But and you also Like if you enjoy a certain meal, you can meal plan around that meal. I like dinner. So I'll really take it easy throughout the day. I do, hold on, this guy's gonna let me go. I do like very low calorie, like meal replacement stuff in the morning. Maybe like something high in protein for lunch. And then for dinner, then I have a lot of carbs, a lot of fat, a lot of whatever left to where I can kind of do what I want. But in the morning, I love these things, these Cliff Builders proteins. It's backwards. Anyway, they sell these. They're about $1 a bar, or maybe a little less, but with tax, probably $1 a bar in most grocery stores. 20 grams of protein, low glycemic, really good. The macros are really good on it, kind of, pretty even. I'll use those to fill in during the day if I get hungry. Sometimes I'll eat one first thing. This is another thing I use, which I have discount codes for if you want. This is Herbalife Formula 1 alternative protein. I like the alternative protein meal replacement shake. I just like the flavor of it. There's a little bit of stevia, but not much. It's cane sugar, non-GMO, the whole 9 yards, gluten-free, dairy-free, whatever. This is what I like. I like the way it tastes. I've tried other ones. In fact, I've tried all the other ones, and it's just not me. If you don't mind stevia, there's a million alternatives out there. I try not to do soy, even though Herbalife soy is non-GMO. I prefer the alternative proteins. It just depends on what you like. They make a whey one, they make a sport nutrition one, a specialty. I find that this is what's best that works for me. It's 180 calories per serving. No. Okay, yeah, with milk, it's 170 calories. I use it with water. So I don't, it's like 90 calories, but I get all this stuff, I get this entire thing, there's minerals, there's vitamins, there's, you name it, it's in there. And it's first thing in the morning, it's like the perfect thing. It's not really filling, as the powder is. Sometimes I'll put, peanut butter in it. I put cocoa in it. I put, different things, because it's just, I get the vanilla. So, ultimate flexibility there as far as flavors go. But, anyway, like I said, I have coupon, discount codes for that if anybody is interested. Other than that, but you can, whatever you like, whatever you can stick with. I find that I stick with this the best. But I do this, 1 or 2 times a day, continue to, just be reasonable with, Myfitnesspal. You're never going to hit your macros perfect. Sometimes you will, but mostly you won't. You don't want to cut down on protein. If you want to, miss a macro, maybe miss carbs, as long as you're eating good fats, you'll go through fats pretty quick. But, when I did this last year, I think I'm about 205. I lost about 15 pounds, 3 or 4% body fat, and just had really good results, and I felt good. I slept good, I felt good. So we're going to give that a whirl, and I weigh myself every morning. Not that weight is a indicator of anything, don't be fooled that, weight is the end all be all. I've gone through times where I'm, lifting heavy, and my weight actually increases, because muscle is heavy. And so that's why it's not a good indication. You could get on the scale and be eating good, exercising, and your weight never changes, because as you lose fat and gain muscle, the muscle is way heavier than fat. So your body's just transitioning most likely, and, you're looking better, you're getting leaner, thinner, whatever, you just don't realize it. But most importantly, you're getting stronger. So anyway, we're going to give that a whirl. I weighed myself this morning. I'm 200.6 pounds. So I don't know what my body fat is. My gym is closed, so I can't get a body fat analysis, but who knows? I'm probably freaking 20%. But I can tell when I feel sluggish and heavy, and it's time to get some of this off for the next at least the summer, and then I'm sure I'll fall off the wagon in the winter and whatever. I continue to work out, but for some reason in the winter, Thanksgiving, Christmas, whatever, my food intake kind of goes awry, and I suffer for it. But anyway, we're gonna give it a whirl today. Monday, May 11th, day number 1, 200.6 pounds. So we'll check in like once a week, and if you got, I don't know, if you're following along with something you're doing, put your results in the comments. I'm totally down with that. I love to hear what people are doing and hear their results, or if they need encouragement, or if they got a question, whatever, man. That's what community is here for. But I'm not a nutritional therapist or anything like that. I'm not degreed. I'm just a guy who does what works best for him. So if that also works best for you, awesome. Let's do it together. So anyway, hope everybody has a good day. I'll talk to you soon.